nearest man goes behind you. And that was really the tactic. But there is a real way of pressing that the City teach players.
Well, one man who pressed particularly well was Oscar Bob, but he's also the player who's separating the two sides at half-time. His goal has given City a 1-0 advantage in this Premier League 2 Division 1 clash at the top of the table. Well, let's have a look at the best action from what was an entertaining first half. Rankin with the first attempt of the game, a good save by Kieran Slicker. Buda then darting forward. He's certainly been an integral player for City down the City right. Robertson linking it on to Hamilton, and his shot brilliantly saved by Slonina. So both goalkeepers making good saves in the opening minutes of the game. Bob has been a wonderful foil for so many players, and he helped set up the shot from Carlos Borges that went wide of the post. Mabuda then within a whisker of finding Bob down the middle. City so close to opening the scoring, but Chelsea had a great moment. Hutchinson hitting the outside of the post. It was a brilliant shot, working himself onto that strong left foot. Carlos Borges combining with Galvez, and then Oscar Bob with the finish in the 32nd minute, and the Blues nudging in front. And on the balance of play, just about deserving it. Chelsea have had some good moments, let's be truthful. But City it is who lead at half-time by 1-0. Just a reminder that City, if they win today, they won't clinch the title, but Chelsea then can't pip them. And Crystal Palace, who are in third, they are the only team who could catch the Blues. Well, if you want to watch the second half live, then do go onto City Plus, or indeed, of course, onto Recast. You can watch this game live, and let's join both Natalie Pike, and she's alongside my co-commentator Shaun Goater, who's made an athletic burst just as the sprinklers are attacking them down on the side. I can see them running for cover from the sprinklers, hence my delay before handing to them. I think they're now okay, and we can go over to them.
I've not heard anything. Hey, welcome back to Matchday Live for our special live coverage of today's Premier League 2 game as City take on Chelsea. And it is 1-0 at half-time to City. Now, we know that City need 2 wins from their last 4 games to retain the title and make it an unprecedented 3 Premier League 2s in a row. Now, bless this man, we are working him hard today because Shaun has been doing the commentary. Shaun Goater, thank you for running down here to rejoin us. Are you okay? Do you need a drink or anything?
Well, I'm okay, with the sprinklers catching me as well. They may have missed it. Sprinklers caught us, but hey, this is what has to be done. We've got to do it.
Yeah, if you're noticing we look like we've just been caught in a rainstorm, it is because just like before the game started, we got the sprinklers on us about 30 seconds ago. So, Shaun, 1-0 to City at half-time. What have you made of the first half?
Yeah, I think it's been a close half, but in saying that, City have dominated in terms of getting up into the final thirds, and it just looks like 1 or 2 times we just found that pass either too strong in terms of finding our players, but again, being able to get that 1 goal, and I think it's being able to make sure we start well in second half, because I would imagine Chelsea, it will be, can they start well? And we need to make sure that we match their start or better in terms of coming out in the second half.
So City getting that lead in the 32nd minute, a goal from Oscar Bob. It was an assist as well from Carlos Borges, which I love because it's like they've swapped roles there for a minute, Shaun, but it's wonderful because they're both assisting, they're both scoring this season. But tell us, what did you make of the goal? Yeah,
I mean, it's really fascinating play, you know, City's able to maneuver the ball. Oscar Bob, he ends up in deep positions, false nines, real wide players, 7s, 11s, but in the goal itself, he's found himself, the one time he's found himself inside the box and the ball's been able to connect to him. He gets his left foot on it. It's not the cleanest of contacts, but it's enough to see it nestle into the bottom corner. So really good play from City. The cross coming in, he gets on it. So City will be pleased with that. I think City's gotten into that final third on a number of occasions. And as I said, there's 2 or 3 passes that just been a yard too strong. If we can connect with those passes, I think we'll see ourselves getting another 1 or 2 more goals.
So Carlos Borges this season's on 17 goals. That's the highest in the Premier League too. Oscar Bob, that's his 6th goal so far this season. But he's had 13 assists so far this season. That's Carlos Borges' 8th assist. I am just loving that we have these players that are able to do both, Shaun.
Well, this is the expectation with City. You know, as a wide player, as a front player, you're expected to score goals, assist goals. And what I love in Oscar Bob is normally as a wide player, but what I'm loving is there was one time he came right down to the centre backs as a number 9, and he's saying, give it to me. So it's some really good play by him in terms of how he's able to go in and around in midfield, but also appear at the right time, and that's when he scored his goal. He appeared in the box at the right time. The ball finds him. Carlos finds him, and he's able to put it away. So really good play.
Tell us about this kind of false 9 position. It became kind of clear quite quickly into the game that we weren't necessarily playing an out-and-out striker like we quite often have done this season. It does appear like Oscar Bob is playing this false 9. Is that what you've made of it, Shaun?
Well, yes, it's false 9, and false 9 essentially is you're up front where you need to be, but also you're able to drop down, go in and around midfield. You become an extra midfielder, so you're able to create the overloads, whether it's in midfield or slightly out wide. But more importantly, still being able to arrive in the box at the right time. So we saw with his goal, he's arrived at the box at the right time. So the false 9 is also about, can you disturb the midfielders of the opposition? If they got 2 defensive midfielders, sometimes just coming down in their eye line, so they start to think, there's a striker here on my right shoulder, but my man's on my left shoulder. What do I do? So it starts to create sort of these scenarios for the opposition midfielders. But more importantly, it's about getting in the box and being there, and then once you're there, being a real number 9.
Oh, and yes, he certainly was then. He's had a busy first half. Now, start of the first half, Chelsea had the biggest chance, the first chance. Kieran Slicker made a good save early on, Shaun.
Yes, and again, Chelsea are also a really good team, so it's important that we don't allow them too many chances and opportunities. I think it's the one who's just gotten down to his right hand side. He manages to get some fingers to that, which happens to be a brilliant save. But again, City will want to keep them quiet because, again, looking at, I think it's Omari, that left foot of his, he seems to be able to come in. He's the one that hit the post when he cut in. So also, it's just about keeping him quiet because he seems a really lively player.
Has he been Chelsea's most dangerous player in that first half, do you think, or is there somebody else that stood out for you?
Him, Kenzie, their wide players are also dynamic, you know. But they don't seem to have the same connection as our front 3. I can see there's a more understanding between our front 3. They look for each other. Mabuda was one time, he was on an acute angle, and initially I'm thinking there's nothing on, shoot. But he's actually squeezed the ball, and it was probably a yard, 2 yards, just too much for Carlos. I think it was Carlos who was running in on it. And I'm thinking, why did he not shoot? But that's because there's a real relationship and understanding. Like, I'll set you up because I know he'll set me up. So there's a real understanding. Chelsea, they have quality players, but I don't think the relationship is as tight or as tight a unit as City's.
Just before City got the goal in the 32nd minute, Amari Hutchinson, who we talked about a lot before the game, was looking dangerous for Chelsea. He had a shot a couple of minutes before City scored. Do you feel at the point when City scored, were they on top, or how did you assess? Was it a fair point to score?
Yeah, I think City's pretty much been on top. I think at times Chelsea are really good at being able to create the counter-attack, and once they win possession, they seem to get up the pitch really quickly, and that's because, again, they got really pacey players out wide, and they know there's no need to have a slow build-up from Chelsea's point of view. They get it into midfield, they get it out wide, and then they try to leave their wide players in those one-on-one situations, and that's what's really created the most danger, their wide players, because again, they're dynamic, the ability and the pace to be able to go left or right real sharp and quick, but we've coped with it very well as well.
Yeah, and we know, as we talked before the game as well, that City aren't playing with their normal back four. We know Finley Burns is out injured. We've had Shea Charles dropping back. Well, how have you assessed City's defensive performance?
I think Shea Charles is done brilliant there, and again, because he knows he's able to play in that position. He knows he's been asked to play in that position on other occasions, but he looks as though he's played centre half his whole career. And that's because he understands the importance of spaces, understanding it's important to be pushed up as a unit, but also when he's pushed up, his body shape, he isn't flat, so when a ball does get knocked down his side, he doesn't have to sort of turn his body. He's already in a position to sort of run back or run forward, so his body positioning is really important. So I think he's done a brilliant job. He's looked very sound there, really good in possession as well, so yeah, he's long may it continue for him.
Yeah, long may it continue, especially for the next 45 minutes. This would be a huge, huge victory for City. 2 wins needed from the last 4 games, Shaun, to retain this Premier League 2 title. It would be 3 in a row. That would just be an outstanding effort from everybody and a real sort of achievement for the team here.
It would be huge. I mean, 3 times in a row would just show the dominance, because I can tell you, that Chelsea as a team, they would want to stop this. They would want to stop City from winning 3 in a row. And, right the way down throughout City in terms of in the academy, there's these challenges, If Chelsea are winning the league, City want to win it the next season. So make no mistake about it, Chelsea will want to win this game to try to show that they are the ones trying to lift the trophy at the end of the season. But City know how close they are. They got this 1-0 advantage. They need two wins from the remaining 4 games, and they're halfway through this game. So Bruyne will be saying, listen, you need to come out bright, you need to come out sharp in this half, because Chelsea are going to want to up the tempo in some way. But I still feel City's also got another gear as well.
Yes, definitely. And Ali spoke to Bruyne before the game, who mentioned about when you're at this club, you are used to playing under pressure. Do you imagine what's being said now in the changing room? Half-time, 1-0 up to Chelsea in second place, edging closer to winning that title. Would they be feeling pressure right now?
I don't think they would be feeling pressure. I think it's about, listen, we play well first half. They'll probably even see some clips in regards to what Chelsea are doing, what they can do better to expose spaces. Perhaps I would say there's probably more patience when we get in the final third. Even though our wingers have the beating of their fullbacks, perhaps sometimes getting the balls in those areas and having more patience. And once we have more patience, we can then expose the spaces a little better as well.
Shaun, thank you so much, because you did the whole half an hour with us for the game. Then you ran straight up. You did the commentary the first full half. Then you ran back down here and spoke to us now. I need to let you go so you can run back up again now, ready for the second half. But I feel like you need to get a drink or something quickly.
I'll be all right. Listen, this is the best job ever, Hey? Look at this partnership here. Listen to the partnership. I'll leave you to it.
Yes, right, Shaun, run. I'll take your mic. You run. Run. Shaun is off because he's doing the second half commentary alongside the wonderful Alistair Mann. Now, to be watching this game, if you didn't watch the first half, you need to see the second half. A big 45 minutes of football coming up in the Premier League 2. The only place to watch this game live, City Plus. To subscribe, it is just £2.99 a month. You get the academy games, you get women's games live, you also get all of the incredible content on there, the documentaries that we have. There's a wonderful Riyad Mahrez documentary on there that's absolutely fantastic. Shaun Goater has his own documentary. There's just really wonderful content on there, and you can get the game as well on Recast. Alistair Mann and Shaun Goater will be your commentary team there in the second half. So a big 45 minutes coming up. The Chelsea team is already out. The City team will be coming out in just a second. 45 minutes to seal another 3 points and another 3 points closer to retaining our title. Shaun and I will be back with you at full time because we're going to work him just that little bit harder. Hopefully we'll be talking about City then just needing 1 win from the last 3 games. We'll be back with you after full time.
You know I'm quite fast, aren't you?
Here we go. Here's another one.
We've got a story about this, haven't we?
Yeah, you're not bad.
Dixon, the run is through of Matchday here. Hamilton. Micah Hamilton scores his first goal of the season.
Kelly plays a long looping ball and City try to win it back, and they do. And the shot comes in, and City lead 2-0.
inside the area, laid off a shot. Manchester City are back level. Take away Aguero, a chance for a hat-trick. Sergio Aguero gets goal number 3 and snatches the win for Manchester City.
Welcome back to our live coverage of the second half of this pivotal fixture in Premier League 2. City top of the table, Chelsea second. A victory for City and it will mean Chelsea cannot pit them to the crown, although they won't